All right, so we're going to just go over some of the Webots robotic simulation environment. And Webots is free to download. All you have to do is go to cyberotics.com, and then you can just go ahead and download it. Just click on here, download it, whatever version that you have. And of course, they do have some documentation references. So if you have any questions about how to do something, how to get started, different things, um, etc. Different tutorials, and different questions about what the different things do. And for example, you just click on here. You can click on different types of uh, computer programming languages they use, and so it'll give you little tips on how to actually institute some of these different things. So we'll go back here. The first thing you want to do is start a new project directory, and then it just asks you if you want to create it. Yep, and then you can just choose whatever project that you want. Usually I use the default, and then you can type in, new whatever, and adding just a rectangle area automatically creates the initial floor. And so there's different versions of this. So there's always this background, which it's just kind of off in the background. But really, it's just kind of a void space, and you can add whatever you want. Um, and so first off, just some of the mouse controllers, just right click and hold, and then you can just push your mouse up and down, and it'll change things on its axis. And if you right click and hold, then you can just move it actually around. And with that, you can actually look at different things in the plane. And so first off, you'll notice in this left box, there's word file, the viewpoint, then the texture background, which is all like the mountains, the backlight. And of course, the rectangle is the actual floor. And to kind of interact with different things you want to change about it, and you just click on this and it pops down. You can change the floor size and it goes in meters. So if you want a little bit more water, taller, etc., you can just change it to whatever your actual needs are. Of course, in default, it's 1-1. And we can just leave it something like this. And for the tiles, you can also change how the tiles are laid out. So you can make them a little bit essentially the same as if we're the actual floor, but instead of the floor size, you're just changing the tiles. And so that's pretty self-explanatory, and then you can just play around with it, do whatever you want uh, to whatever your liking is. The wall thickness is just this wall around here. And so if you want to essentially uh, change that, of course, you can set it to whatever you want, and it'll just make it thicker. Um, of course, it always has to be a positive number. And of course, if you want the height to change, you can just go up and down. Again, pretty self-explanatory. All right, and the strength just deals with if you're like crashing stuff into it, it'll tell you the strength is. You can also change the different colors. And for this, you have to kind of know how the things are going to change. And this is just for the actual wall, but you can also change the floor as well. And so, for example, if you want to change a different color, now it's easier. You can just like do this and automatically change all the different things for you, or you can just experiment and play around with it to see if you can get uh, whatever color that you like. So again, that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. If you want to change the actual floor style a bit, you can just click on this type, and you can make it a dark strip, light strip, mosaic, kind of more wood type flooring, etc. Let's see, is there anything? Let's And of course, this also has a color override. Again, you can essentially make the floor just about any color that you want. Okay, and so that's just kind of like the basics, and you just kind of play around with it so you kind of understand pretty much what it is. Like I said, you can move it around. You just use the mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out. Now there's translation rotation, which isn't going to mean too much with just the floor. It'll mean a little bit more when you actually start putting some objects. When you ever click on something, it will give you this 3D plane, X, Y, and Z axis, so that you kind of help orient where the axes are um, whenever you're trying to manipulate things in the 3D space. All right. And so then you can actually add some things to it. And you just click on this little positive sign and say we want to drop. Um, if you know to, that's not the right thing. So you can just, if you know what you want, just like type it in here, and then you can just click on whatever you want. Um, if you're not sure what you're looking for, go to the base nodes. They've got some basic stuff here. You can always go into the current Word file. That'll tell you what you currently have. And then different types of projects that you can click on to see what they are. Different devices. If you want to add like a pedestrian, you can do that. And of course, different. So you can just kind of look through and see exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so we'll let's go with like a basic square here. And we're gonna add some objects to it. Let's go with just a box. It's just a box. And we just place it wherever we want. And then you just copy and paste. And it will create a second one. Again, you have to click, hold, shift, and move it around. Okay, let's create one more. And let's place it. Again, you can change the size of the box. Go ahead and do maybe something like this. And let's go ahead and change box. And then we'll just leave this box. So we have different objects. And again, you can change a lot of different things about this. But you'd have to essentially create this to a base node. And then you can create you can either have it to cast shadows, and of course change the color. You will change the color up just slightly. Let's go with this. And then for this one, and make it a little bit more colorful. And there we have it. And so that's just a basic construction. And of course, there's a lot of other different things that we could have stuck in here, but I think for now that'll be what we're looking for.